Welcome, guys. This is Melody FS Academy, and in today's teachings, we are going to be looking at the intraday trading live trade experience. Okay, we're going to be looking at the live trade experience, trade breakdown analysis. Okay, it's been long. We did this series. Okay, and I just wanted to, you know, bring it back to life, is so that it would look like we have abandoned the series. Okay, so please, if this is your first time of coming across this channel, I'm going to plead with every one of us. If you have been following us and you appreciate the content we are putting our efforts to place out there for free on YouTube, please do well to support us. Okay, join this community by just subscribing. Is free and it's not going to take more than 5 seconds of your time. Okay, so click the subscription button and turn on the notification bell to get notified when we upload our weekly content. Okay, so thanks for that. And so now let's get down to today. In today's series, we're going to be looking at the intraday trading live trade experience. Okay, we're going to be talking about the trade breakdown analysis for what I did today. Okay, so now we're going to start with the 4 hour time frame. Okay, so you might be asking why the 4 hour or that. Okay, so like I made mention earlier, the way I used to trade, or rather how I used to trade ICT before the mentorship on before the mentorship 2022 mentorship came on board. Okay, that is what the advanced model is all about. Okay, so doing this episode as an insight of how we're going to be viewing the market by the time we come to the near end of the smart money advanced model. Okay, so this is purely outside of the 2022 mentorship, but I'm going to try and combine the two. I'm going to bring the two model together and see what we can do with it. Okay, so today I actually traded the Euro USD, and I felt like let's why not do a live trade experience series today. Okay, it has been long we've done that, so sharing this, I'm going to share the breakdown of today's analysis with us. Okay, so obviously this is the price action on Euro USD. Okay, you can just pause the video and do your own annotations before we proceed. Okay, then just pause the video and do your own annotations to make sure to be sure that we're on the same page. Okay, so let's go down. All right, now as you can see, this is a 4 hour time frame. Okay, so I didn't include DSY on this chart. Okay, sorry for that. I should have included the DSY and shared some intermarket relationship with us. Okay, so but the DSY is obviously I think is bullish for a while and it's going to go bearish. Okay, that's just my opinion on it. And so that's just that for that. Okay, so now in this Euro USD, okay, as you can see, we have this old high, right? Price was currently trending upwards. We had this high, this low, and we had this higher high. Okay, then we have this shift in market structure, and the trend became bearish. Okay, then we had this break of structure downwards. Okay, so now this became our trading range. Okay, this became our trading range. Then we have this reached above. Okay, we have this move above upwards, so this should be viewed as another shift in market structure. Okay, so that is why I don't like the idea of lower highs, lower lows, higher highs, higher lows, and the rest. Okay, I don't go with that. Okay, what I do when I'm looking at trend movements, and when I'm gauging my trends, I look at possibility of I look at liquidity, because like as you can see right now, we had this higher high, right? Then we had this shift in market structure, and obviously it was this short-term high that broke structure to the downside, right? So this became our range. So this high should have been protected, right? Then we had another shift in market structure again. This high was taken out and at the same time traded into this fair value, and as you can see, price did started expanding lower. Okay, so although we are still within this current range, right, we are still, this became our new range when this old short-term high was taken out. Okay, so price can be said that the euro USD is currently bullish. Okay, it's bullish, but we are just trading off a fair value gap, right? And as price is trading lower, you can see currently we are in a fair value gap in the discount side of the range. Okay, in the discount side of the range. So I took a quick but that is not the main focus of these teachings. Okay, it's not the main focus of this episode. I'm just going to show us the breakdown of what I did today on the euro USD. Okay, so I took a quick trade on the euro USD and I'm going to share with us the breakdown of the analysis. Okay, so this was obviously my annotations on the higher time frame, and we are going to look at today's transactions. Okay, we'll look at today's transaction. So we had this move, right? Then we have this break of structure. Okay, and as a retracement. Okay, so we had this move and we had price reached for this fair value gap. Okay, so this is what we're actually going to talk about. So this happened today and this is what we're going to talk about. Okay, so now going down to our intraday chart. Okay, so we have this fair value gap, right, which is this fair value gap right here. Okay, we have price reached into this fair value gap a bit. Okay, so if you gauge that range, that is probably a little into the premium side. Okay, so we had this. Okay, we had this, you can see the 15-minute candle, right, trading into the fair value gap. Okay, although I was not around. Okay, this didn't happen in my presence. Okay, this didn't happen in my presence. Okay, this happened in prior. This right here is the London, sorry, this is the 12 a.m. midnight. Okay, this little horizontal line. Okay, this is just my way of separating the 12 a.m. midnight. Okay, so this is the 12 a.m. midnight opening price. Okay, so we had price reached into the fair value gap on the higher time frame, right? So when we had this, okay, which is this on this particular candle. Okay, so I was expecting price to react off it. Okay, although it did happen in my presence, but when I put up my chart and I was doing my top down analysis, I saw this. Although the candle was still on, okay, we were still in that particular 4 hour time, in this particular 4 hour candle. Okay, so going down, as you can see, we had this right here. Okay, we had this move right here. So now what do you do when you see something like this? Okay, so now what I'm actually going to do, although I didn't have this on my chart, but let's try and apply the 2022 model to it as well. Okay, so looking at it from the 2022 ICT mentorship model. Okay, this will be our 12 a.m. midnight, right? Okay, let's go down further. Look at it here, right here. Okay, so this is our 12 a.m. midnight, right? So this will be our opening price. Okay, then we have a short term high right here. Then we had the London Q zone opening on this candle, right? So, and we are expecting bearishness. Okay, we are expecting a short term bearishness down into this fair value gap, right? We're expecting remember, we are still on this candle, although we are currently in the range. Okay, there's a possibility of price just reaching for this sell side liquidity resting below this old low, right? So now when we take a look at this, applying the 2022 model to it. Okay, so we had this opening price, then we had this short term, and we have a move above the short term high. Okay, then remember, every time there's a move, a run on liquidity above a short term high, that is price going into premium. Okay, so at the same time trading into the higher time frame point of interest, higher time frame point of interest, which is the fair value gap on the 4 hour, right? So now we had the shift in market structure right here. Okay, this is our shift in market structure, and we have this fair value gap. Okay, so all this happened in my absence. Okay, I was not around when this happened, so I didn't get my entry there. But as you can see, of course, price traded into that fair value gap and reacted off. Okay, so now this was where I came in on the chart. Okay, so this was where I met the price action. Okay, this was the price action I came across. Okay, we already had when I put up my chart, we already had this break of structure right here. I think we already had this break of structure. We are on this candle. Okay, we are on this candle formation. Okay, so now we had this break of structure, right, and we had this old low, and currently currently, as you can see, we are in a close proximity range. Okay, this is the midnight opening, right? This is the midnight opening right here. Okay, and this is close proximity, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, this is a close proximity setup. Okay, and looking at the London key zone opening candle, which is probably this candle or this, if I'm not mistaken, we are still currently above it, right? So that is premium. Okay, so that's just combination of both the 2022 mentorship and the old and the smart money advice series, okay, which we are covering right now. Okay, so when this was where I put up my chart, okay, when this actually formed in my present, okay, then when we had this candle trade into it, okay, when we had this candle trade into the fair value gap, then I went down to my lower time frame for a confirmation entry. Okay, so let's go down to our lower time frame right now. Okay, so now as you can see, this is that 15-minute old fair value gap, right? And this is that break of structure we had. Then price retraces into the 15-minute fair value gap. Then now when we trade into this 15-minute fair value gap, I started looking for my shift in market structure on the 1 minute time frame, right? So as you can see, price went up, didn't took out the the previous low, right? This previous low was protected. As you can see, price went up a bit, went up. So this is our current range, right? After price broke structure to the upside, this became our current trading range. And as you can see, we didn't shift in structure. Okay, we didn't break this, we didn't take out this old short-term low. Okay, so as price went up again, created this short-term low, came down, and created a higher high, a high higher than the previous high. Okay, so this became our new range, and at the same time this was a potential uh stop hunt or liquidity grab. We didn't know this until there was a shift in structure that happened right here. Okay, so this could have just been a break of structure to the upside as a continuation. Okay, so when this happened and I marked it out, okay, I was like, okay, this is a potential this could be a potential stop run. Okay, then at the same time, look over here. What is this? We have this fair value gap, right? We have this fair value gap inside. We have this 1 minute fair value gap inside of the 15-minute fair value gap. Okay, so this was what actually price reached into. Okay, so we had this marking that I forgot to mark it out, but this was what price reached out into. Okay, so price reached for this 1 minute fair value gap inside the 15-minute chart, at the same time taking out the liquidity that was resting above this old relatively equal highs. Okay, then we had this move. Okay, when the price shifted in structure, took out this old short-term low. Okay, so now our structure is bearish. Okay, then when this on this candle, as soon as this candle came up, okay, when we had this shift in market structure, at the same time fair value gap created, right? Then on this candle, this was where I sold. Okay, so I sold and my stop loss was above this short-term high. Okay, so as you can see, price hovered around a bit. Okay, I actually thought I was going to be stopped at. Okay, I thought I was going to be stopped at, but why did I take this entry? I took this position, this entry, because all my all the criterias on my list have been met. Okay, I had price trade I have price give me a minute. Okay, we had price reached into a higher time frame point of interest, right? Then on the lower time frame we had it shift in structure. Okay, sorry, we had price at the same time above the opening price, right? And we have it run the buy side liquidity, right, above the opening price, trading into that point of interest on the higher time frame, and we are inside of the London key zone, right? Then we are already seeing a shift in market structure on the intraday chart. Okay, and at the same time we have reacted off a fair value gap and broke structure to the downside once again. Okay, so this is now a long-term high. Okay, so we had an intermediate term high, this is an intermediate term high and a long-term high, right? So we had this high that had this short-term high and another short-term high to the right side of it, to the right and the left side of it. Okay, so this became a long-term high. Okay, so price should be this old high should be protected. Okay, price should not be seen moving above this old short-term high. Okay, so that was the confluence. I had all these confluence checked out, right? I had all these confluence checked out. So, and at the same time, we had this fair value gap inside of that 15-minute fair value gap, and price had already reached for it, taking out the possible stop loss resting above here, and those that were looking to trade this resistance as a breakout traders. Okay, there are others have already been put into the marketplace, right? Then we had our shift in market structure, and an imbalance was created. At the same time, we had this OB. Okay, this is another block, right? This is the last up candle before this down move. Okay, so when price traded into it, I got my entry right there, and my stop loss was above this old high. Okay, and as you can see, price played off well. Okay, I got this as my first partial. I took out first partials right here, and took out, and eventually I was hoping to get out at this third exit. Okay, but I got stopped out at a break even after taking, more than 70% of the trade off. Okay, more than 70% of the trade, I took it off, and I moved my stop loss. I think was it above these old highs. Okay, I moved my stop loss, and got I almost got stopped at right here, but eventually when it reached for this, okay, I was having not less than about 20% of the trade running until this happened. Okay, until this happened, and that is as a result of this. Okay, as a result of this fair value gap, right? I talked about us being bullish, and we are currently still bullish inside of this trending range. Okay, so this is price being reaching for this fair value gap. Okay, and as you can see, it filled it completely. Okay, so although this is very still much bullish until this old low is taken out to shift structure to the downside. Okay, so I saw a possible entry, and I took it, and I made away with about 8-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Okay, 8-to-1, as you can see, 8.06. Okay, so that's 8-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Okay, so that is just that for this live trade experience. Okay, so I do hope we have learned one or two things from this. Okay, I do hope we have learned one or two things, and please, if this is your first time of coming across this channel, or you are a returning viewer, please, and you have not subscribed, please support us. Support us by subscribing to this channel. Okay, that is just the way of showing our appreciation that for all the effort we are putting in on this. Okay, so thanks to all those that have followed us, that are subscribed to this channel. Okay, we are grateful for the support. Okay, so please, let's keep the subscription coming in, and we should expect the new episode on the next episode on the smart money advanced model uh is coming up shortly after this video. Okay, so see you guys in the next video, and do have a great trading week.